Microsoft cutting, saying 30% of their code is written by AI. Meta is launching a ChatGPT rival. Duolingo CEO saying AI is a platform shift, just like the mobile. But what does this mean for your small business? So, how are you guys? So this week we are covering the news, the noise around AI, everything, and what it means for what does this mean for your SME, the small business out there. We've had grandiose announcements from Meta, Microsoft cutting, saying 30% of their code is written by AI. Meta is launching a ChatGPT rival. Duolingo CEO saying AI is a platform shift, just like the mobile. But what does this mean for your small business? Anyway, first of all, we will cover the big AI news. Those were like the three major ones from big players in the industry.
And many others, of course.
We think like we will start specializing a lot, not really specializing, but I think for the next foreseeable future, we might just cover quite a bit of AI because I mean, right now the hype is there. AI is a big deal, to be honest. From where we sit, we think it's gonna create a lot of paradigm shift in how we build products, we interact with products, operations are run in companies, how governments are run, how schools, education, like it's gonna influence every other thing of our lives, especially how we interact with machines and computers, so to say. So, Duncan, welcome on board. We've had major news coming along.
Breaking news. We call them breaking news.
Did you catch the news? Tell us.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
I think the very first one you mentioned about Meta AI. I think I know it's not officially launched in Kenya, but I tried to look at snippets of how it's gonna look like. I mean, something amazing, of course. I mean, from a Meta perspective, because already Meta has a lot of data about anyone who has an account with them. So, unlike the ChatGPT you're used to. So I think gonna be something great because apart from now, you see like the way you prompt ChatGPT just for general information. I think Meta will be able to offer a better experience, given that you already have learned a lot about your people behavior, what you like, where you go, who you interact with. Of course, now by doing so, it's able to offer you a better experience. Because Meta really has a lot of, would say, knowledge, and this one now going to the AI shift. I think they are likely to even, even in terms of the ads. Our ads will be fed to your timeline and everything. The recommendations, even now making it easier for you to get, because sometimes when you're on Facebook and you're trying to, let's say, find something to purchase. Now this one will meet you more closely because you're able to.
So what you're saying is they can run ads on their on their Meta AI, basically on their ChatGPT
and that one will be
version.
more optimized, because it's more. It's more because it already has so much background information. So
Actually,
brings everything closer to you in a
ChatGPT has been teased. There were some rumors that ChatGPT will create also a social media platform. It's just like is it really like a convergence of social media and AI? Like it's like social media is the one that has fueled AI. So because it's the biggest data,
of course, the biggest
data reservoir that we have in the world. So
absolutely.
I think OpenAI is realizing they're at a disadvantage because they don't own any primary data that they can train on. They have to rely on Meta, Google, and all these things. And so these big companies have the advantage of data. So now they want to create their own data. So I think that was also quite some big news though. I don't know whether it was confirmed, but there were rumors that ChatGPT is also planning to release their now social media what they don't have, and then Meta is releasing their chat
The
app
chat,
which they don't have. So I mean, we're gonna see. It sounds very interesting, but I think for Meta, what I did it on. Maybe it's all of those things you're saying is about user experience, data control,
even now
distribution
distribution.
of ads and
Wow, yeah.
whatever. So I think we're gonna see eventually how it's gonna play out. But I think it's all those things. There was now the Microsoft, the second piece of news, which was Microsoft saying 30% of their code so far has been, it's 30% of their code is being written by AI. We know even they own the GitHub Copilot.
Copilot, yeah.
But on top of that, we've seen now the rise of these coding agents like Replit, Casa, Bolt, and all these others. What do you think what does this piece of news mean in terms of software development?
I think
What's the paradigm in terms of product development?
it means a lot because I would say first, of course, we are looking at like building applications which have to be AI first. You have to think AI first before going to even the core functionality. And now, in that regard, of course, I know, of course, any AI generated code, of course, you really don't have much control on it, but at least um, the offloading, which is done by you, making use of this, this you talked about Replit, Lovable, there are so many. So I think it's quite something because at the end of the day, it's all about delivering the solution. As quickly as possible. But of course, so many nuances in between. Because you have to be. There are so many issues around application security. You also need, to understand the code for easy troubleshooting. Because I'm pretty sure debugging has not really been at the core of all these tools, but at least a lot of offloading is done. But I also saw, some addition to that news is that they were predicting that by 2030, 90% of all the code will be AI generated. So you can see, 2030 is not very far. So there'll be quite, a big shift, of course, and now the developers, the dev teams now really have to be ready for the revolution.
So what I'm getting is all of us will become interns because if AI writes our code, does our marketing, runs our customer service, then we all become interns and AI becomes the real deal.
That's the real deal. The
So
full-time
I
employee.
mean, that's good. I think for me, I think it's a good thing because we were born to be really creative, not really do money labor, not be laborers, but rather
exactly.
create.
Yeah.
Everybody is born a creator.
Yeah.
Only that I think people struggle to find their creative superpower in them. So I think if AI gives us back time to ourselves, then we can probably give it a shot at being creatives. All of us,
Absolutely.
may I'll just be spending my hours in the bush and just connecting with nature. So anyway, so the Duolingo CEO also, trend started with the Shopify CEO also saying they are trying to, they now want the mindset within the company to shift to AI first everything. So Duolingo CEO saying, if you want more headcount, you have first to justify that AI can't do whatever you wanna hire for, right? So it's like this is a platform shift, just like mobile. Number two, product development and everything should be AI first, and then
Even operations, everything.
even operations. So they are saying everything should be AI first, and then humans next. So foundationally, so we probably need to start seeing AI more of as a foundation layer of just like internet, like it's foundation to everything online, right?
You have to be on the internet.
Yeah, you have to be on the
to
internet
do
first
anything.
before you you showcase your website, you first have
Before
to
you open your email.
have, host it,
Yeah, yeah.
connect it, you
Yeah,
have to have Wi-Fi
absolutely.
in your home
Yeah, yeah.
before you say you're on the internet now,
Yeah.
before you even like say I'm opening a website. So more of like it's AI first and then everything else comes on top of
Comes
it.
on top,
So
yeah.
I mean, I don't think I disagree with that. It's a big platform shift, and I think it's interesting. And why people should be happy is, I think, for me, I didn't witness most of. I was still a bit young when all these shifts were happening. But now, I mean, I can witness a real platform shift with
Yeah,
now
yeah.
experience and knowledge,
And the
and
practical
practical when you have the
applications.
knowledge to ask yourself, what can I do? What are the opportunities to really tap into? I think that's what SMEs should be asking for. They are witnessing a platform shift where you're not. I'm not in high school where I couldn't really understand much, but now I'm experienced, so I should be able to get so much from it. But I don't know why people are scared. But the fear that comes with every platform shift is real. It came with
Of course.
mobile phones,
Yeah, yeah.
internet. Like every shift has created fear, but we should not. So, and that begs the question: how do small businesses and medium businesses benefit from this? You go first. What are some of the use cases that now AI provides? Special use cases, not just, we know now there is the common ones like customer support. That's
Yeah,
just
support is, yeah,
an
yeah.
obvious one. But what do you think?
So I think one of the major applications I would say for, I mean, for any type of a team, especially for, I mean, a real life application is, I mean, application development and I mean workflow automation. So I think in any case, of course, you don't want to have one. Of course, you don't want to have a very huge team working on a, I mean, on an application or on a product, and you still want to deliver a working product and also deliver it quickly. So I think with AI, the automations which are provided from all the way from even product, not product, but problem definition, all the way to things like mock-ups, all the way to now the real building. I think really AI can do a lot in offloading and also making sure that you are really more productive with a very lean team. So, and of course, I know with there is the traditional feeling that you really most teams really want to be able to control the processes, and mostly that has been manual. But I think taking advantage of the AI evolution, you can really be able to deliver more effectively. Just integrating in the workflows. Beyond now the AI code generation, you can really do a lot to just automate what you really do and still be in control. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the key thing with AI in product development, that's code generation, you have to be in control because I think as the code base becomes huge,
Yeah, yeah.
the chaos and
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
mess, you might find yourself doing also a lot of work at the same
Exactly.
time, as much
Yeah.
as you're trying to save time
Yeah, yeah.
and resources.
Yeah.
So it's good every company to have a proper framework and just know what AI should automate and what it cannot, and
Yes.
the human intervention still in the
Absolutely.
process.
Yeah.
I think people have really embraced that, considering how much revenue these coding agents are make. The numbers
Yeah.
which are alleged they are making. I mean, I think it's a whole. People are really ready for this whole shift. I think for me, the use case that I also would want to have observed, this is more of my first is the way the shift. I think I would want to tie it to the platform, but then to the platform shift itself. But then how do you tie that first? How is it rewiring user behavior? So I think it's a whole change in how we do how computing really works. Not really works like fundamentally, but rather the human interface with computing.
The
There's
interface.
what
Yeah.
we've had all this time, which is graphical user interface. I think now we are evolving into generative user interface. How does then this apply into the common mobile apps, website app, web apps, in an interface that is software, a hardware that has a software interface. So I'll give very basic examples. For example, our website. How do we create a website for our businesses? It's a homepage with a couple of other pages about us and all that. I think, do we then say our website could basically become a chat interface? I can go there and ask more about and just chat it to ask. Instead of me navigating through pages, I'm chatting the pages. Pu- Purely. I'm not clicking. I'm just conversing with the website. So that means we could see websites that now, I know we have the chatbot on the side, but primarily now every other interface becomes chat.
Yeah.
You see the way ChatGPT is, then every app has to take chat interface. So chat becomes your first interface. It's a banking application. For me to do the transaction, then I'm just chatting with it. And I know this has been long time coming because we first saw them, we called them chatbots. But then chat becomes the universal way the graphical user interface just disappears.
You go to
The chat itself actually generates the graphical user interface if you really want to see it. You get, so it's a whole shift in terms of user behavior, mindset, and every other the way you've known how we interact with computers. Basically, you have to see it as a complete 360 on how we interact with computers. So for SMEs, I think that's a big one because it means then we have to change so many things: mindset, behavior, and all that. Which is the other use case?
I think I would. I mean, it's common but not common. It's obvious but not obvious. I think in terms of decision making, I think especially when it comes to data analysis, there are so many things which at times you have a lot of data you want to really make decisions quickly. I mean, because maybe of a certain thing which has happened, in an event or just something which you need to really execute quickly and make the right decision. I think AI can help in quickly compiling that data and giving you the right decisions. Of course, this means that because if the data, let's say if the data set is huge, but need a lot of, a huge team, a lot of workforce. But you can leverage AI and still make those decisions and make them accurately and still move faster and be able to to make the correct decision based on your one. Of course, we are looking at and mostly this comes in when it comes to matters. I mean, customer trends, what is happening in at an instance. So I think decision making is also a very key. It's another, I would say, another area which can really be leveraged in terms of automating using AI.
I think the next use case, which I would borrow a little bit from what the use case is saying, it's brainstorming. I mean, brainstorming is such a key part of any workflow. So I think if there is an area where AI really rises, you just tell it what it's in your mind, and then you just tell it what's your thoughts on this, and then it'll just give you like. I think that's like
Instant.
a big use case people use, but they've never seen it as like
Yeah.
brainstorm is a big
Exactly.
use case for AI, especially the big LLMs, the ChatGPT, rather than not the specialized ones. So brainstorming is such a big one. Of course, we said there's the obvious use cases: content creation, all these customer support. There's just so many things. AI can. It's a platform shift for
a
real.
platform,
It probably will touch into any use case that you think of that in your workflow. So just try to explore AI in whichever ways, and then let's see the magic of how it really
For sure.
and then the thing is, AI, it scales your team. There are things, you used to do 10 tickets. AI can do 100,000 tickets, without human intervention. So I mean,
Absolutely,
that's
yeah.
where we are. So So the final take is where do you begin? Try next, if you've listened to this episode, go try at least an AI tool, explore some of these use cases, sign up, subscribe to our channel, community, our pages, and then we're gonna see you in the next one. So bye bye for now. We hope you found that productive and valuable. See you in the next one. Bye bye.